नमस्कार फ्रेंड, आप सभी का स्वागत है। फ्रेंड्स, श्री CN वेणुगोपालन सर ने एक पत्र 20 मार्च को DFS के सेक्रेटरी को लिखा। डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज, न्यू दिल्ली। सब्जेक्ट्स: amendments carried out to pension regulation of banks at the instance of the Department of Financial Services. I invite your kind attention to the Office Memorandum dated 10th March 23 of the Legislative Department, Ministry of Law and Justice in response to my representation dated 12th February 23 on the above caption regarding the fraudulent amendments carried out by your department to the pension regulation of banks through the Bank Employees Pension Amendment Regulation 2017. The Legislative Department, which examined my representation for 3 weeks, found nothing wrong in my submission and chose to forward it to you for doing the needful, vide the aforesaid memorandum, notwithstanding that the amendments in all probability must have been vetted by them also. The fraudulent nature of the amendment has become crystal clear now. It thus becomes imperative that the contributions levied to the pension fund by bank on the basis of the settlement joint note dated 27th April 2010 and pension denied to retired employees from the date of retirement to 27th November 2009 are payable to those concerned together with interest. The Amendment Regulation 52(1) also mandates payment of pension from the date following the date on which an employee retires. As a matter of fact, the government extracts strenuous and tedious work from the bank employees all along while in service for translating all financial services policies into reality without compensating them for the work. Their salaries and retirement benefits are paid out of the profits that make in banks. Their pension also is payable out of the pension funds created out of the CPF surrendered by the employees and the CPF refunded by retired employees and families of deceased employees and the income generated by the pension fund. Banks do not have to pay anything out of their revenue account, and the government also has to practically pay them nothing. Pension funds are the deferred wages and property of the employer, retired employees, and when the benefits payable out it are shortchanged, it amounts to plundering of the bank pensioner by sucking their blood in old age. This can have analogy to what was happening in the pre-independent era during the colonial administration. The Pension Amendment Regulation 2017 aimed at looting the pensionary benefits of the bank employees on cessation from service instead of granting them the pension for their is tarnishing the image of the government. It is corruption which have no parallel. Any trace of the honesty and integrity left with the Department of Financial Services requires that they act with courage and conviction, abandoning cowardice at the spineless to regain the last scene of the government. The Amendment Regulation 2017 proved that the provisions for the contribution to pension fund and for paying pension from 27th November 2009 to the retired employees can come into force only on the date they were notified in the Gazette. They are void in law as they are inconsistent with the pension scheme and impossible to be carried out, and amendments to pension regulations vide section 19(1) and 19(4) of the Banking Companies Acquisition and Transfer of Undertaking Act 1970/80. Please therefore direct banks to refund to the bank pensioner the fraudulent collections made to the pension fund and to the pay pension from the date following the date of retirement, that is 27th November 2009, which was denied to them together with interest. The amounts are payable out of the pension fund and not from the revenue account of banks or out of the exchequer. A line in reply will be appreciated much. Thanks and regards. वेणुगोपालन सर का जो लास्ट रिक्वेस्ट है, प्लीज देयरफॉर डायरेक्ट बैंक टू रिफंड टू द बैंक पेंशनर the fraudulent collection made to the pension fund and to the pay pension from the date following the date of retirement to 27th November 2009, which was denied to them together with interest. देखिए DFS वेणुगोपालन सर के रिक्वेस्ट पर क्या एक्शन लेता है ताकि उन रिटायरीज को उनको पेंशन फंड से वो पैसा रिफंड हो सके. थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स, नमस्कार.